My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is July 15, 2025. It is 5:43 a.m. This is video number 2. I have so much to share with you. Video number 1, I had to keep it in one topic because there were a lot of discussion regarding the Wales Kids with Disabilities and stuff like that. So it's a continuation. So let's go on Twitter. Okay. Wilkinson, Prince William worries that his father and brother are isolating him. Okay, so they're making reference to the headline that was happening, I believe it was on Sunday, over the weekend, where Daddy Fell had a headline about the Sussex's representative was talking with Charles' people regarding whatever, some summit. So now they're saying that William feel like he's being isolated. Well, if you think about it, if this is true, whatever, if he does feel that way, well, he isolated himself because it was William who hired Simon Case to put it in writing to get Harry out of there. So what else can Harry do? You don't want him around you, so Harry move on. So whatever string of reconciliation that probably left with the institution between Harry and the institution, it's with his father. But when Charles has that horse next to him putting nonsense in his head, it's a lost cause. So Harry should just move on. But at least they're trying. Whatever. Okay, so that's that. So this is my response an hour ago. But he, William, has full connection access with his father. Harry doesn't. Keep in mind, it was William who hired Simon Case to get rid of Harry. In my humble opinion, the horse played that family very well. If you know who the horse is, you know. The horse couldn't fool Harry. They tried. I mean, she tried, but she couldn't get him. So she had to fool the two seniors who are above Harry. Harry is the only intelligent one. Okay, so there's this here that Prince William's aide play key role in Harry and Meghan's royal exit. We are aware of this because in court documents. Okay, you could pause and read it. It's kind of blurry, but that's the best I have. Okay, William always tell on himself. Let's put that. This has nothing to do with wanting to protect his father, but everything to do with his fear that what he did to Harry, isolate him by cozying up to Charles, is happening to him and he will have no recourse. Well, he has his kids, he has his wife. So if he had priorities, focus on his family. Okay, because let's be crystal clear, if Charles and Harry make amends and Harry and Meghan agree to come to family events, even if William and Kate protest and pull out, it won't matter. Because Harry and Meghan have always stolen the show whenever they do anything. Meghan got a front page over Queen Elizabeth for crying out loud. Let's not forget, during the Queen's funeral, the tabloid was talking about them only. And it's very sad the way they were talking about her. Trash her nonstop, and none of the family had the mindset to put a stop to it. That's what they're really afraid of. William can dangle Kate right now because there is no other beautiful royal woman to compete with. But if Meghan started making appearances, it's game effing over. And William and Kate know that. They have a hard time trying to compete with Harry, but having to compete with Meghan would be impossible. And it's not even Meghan's fault. If I was Meghan, okay, the UK Done with. Done with. If Harry wants to bring his children one at a time, maybe. But other than that, stay away. All right? And the other thing is, I don't know if this still stand in the UK where the grandparents have authority over the grandkids or something like that. Maybe keep Archie out because Archie was born over there. But maybe Lilibet they could bring. I don't know. And he called Diana paranoid. I hope that Meghan won't allow herself to be played like a pawn by Charles and Camilla. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Harry could go, but Meghan is done. Because now Meghan is at a healing process right now. Well, the process probably already done, but I don't think she will ever forget what they did to her. But she's comfortable where she's at now. It's best for her to not show up over there again. Because if she showed up, these people, they don't know any better. All they know is to be barbaric. So they're gonna pick up exactly where they left off. Okay, and none of the royal family don't have the mindset to tell the tabloid to put a stop or go in public to say something. The way we started to predict everything about this man, the moment Daily Mail shared such a ridiculous headline that says Kings needed William's permission hours after the Pap's pics were shared, we knew that this man is being left out. Secret Harry Peace Summit with King's aides needed William's permission, said royal expert. I mean, do these people understand? Okay. First, I was going to say, do these people understand their position? Second, I'm thinking, does Charles understand that he is king? He is above William. Then the third thing that popped up in my mind all at once is that the tabloid probably holding, or let's just say William is the front man, just like Trump is, for all those people who keeps on writing those executive orders, and they just want his signature. So William is probably the front man for the tabloid, and they're probably telling him what to do. And then he has the tabloid behind him, and Charles is afraid of the tabloid. That's the only thing I could think of. Because if you're a king, who cares what William says? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something somewhere. William, this is the reason. Hence, Charles changed his mind and see through her. As far as I'm concerned, well, let's just say this is no concern for Meghan. Imagine steering clear of a violent megalomaniac who's clearly on a power trip with his constant, creepy references to all of the things he's going to do when he inherits his father's job after his father died. Another thing that's coming up in my mind here, it sounds crazy, but I saw a blueprint of it already. Before the Queen passed, they were putting pictures of her as if she was in a coffin. I'll put the picture of what I'm saying. So maybe, because these people know how to unalive people really quickly, maybe they're trying to get the King, Charles, to get to a certain point, some agreement with Harry. And if they reach that agreement, and then Charles will be gone, and then William will take over to continue the nonsense. I don't know. William's McPegger has made no secret about wanting his father dead as soon as possible. His remarks are often disrespectful when he references his father's demise. Charles must know that William prefers him gone. Colonizers all rich yet wanting more. I'm telling you. Don't worry, Jason Kenoff is on the case. I'm sure an emergency meeting was put together as soon as incandescent with fridge stopped forming at the mouth. And let's not forget, remember when the Queen was alive. Okay, this is another blueprint as well. They made the Queen accept Camilla as Queen Consort. Okay, consort. And then as soon as the Queen died, you never heard the word consort on part of Camilla's name. It's just Queen. So the same thing might be playing here as well. They probably want Harry and Charles reach an agreement, and Charles agreed, they made it public, blah, blah, blah. Harry thinking that, okay, there's this agreement after he's dead, and then boom, Charles is gone, the agreement out of the window. And then they get Harry where they wanted him. That's another thing we must think as well. And then let's not forget Invictus 27, Birmingham. All right, so they want Harry somewhere. Never forget that video that I did. It has been done before. Never forget that. Okay, they really want Harry on the soil of the UK soil. OMG, I'm sick of this whining to every outlet. I thought he wanted nothing to do with his brother. The Macbeth are starting to get paranoid. That's their own doing. Okay, whatever is here. That's the one I just read. You are on fire today. Hold on. The same way they were isolating Harry and Meghan when they were in the UK, he isolated himself. That's it. Yeah, he isolated himself. Worry about being isolated now. Maybe really should have thought of that before poisoning every bridge with his father and brother. Well, he's listening to the tabloid. The other thing as well, this is something I said in the past. When Harry was going to court, suing the tabloid and all of that, we came to find out that William took money from the tabloid, a hush money, and settled with them completely. Nobody knew about it until Harry went to court. One of the things that I said, and I think this is what is being played here. Again, this is pure speculation. I've said it as speculation and I'm continuing as speculation. If what I said was true, where William settled with the tabloid, they probably give him some extra, okay? This guy is as dumb as a rock because he had upper hand in every angle, but they play him. They probably settle for whatever millions. And then the tabloid probably said, let me give you this extra. That extra is for you to prevent your brother from suing me. That's the tabloid. Me is the tabloid. But William couldn't control Harry. So he took the money and he couldn't control Harry. So now the tabloid is on his case, is saying, I gave you money to stop your brother from suing us, and then he's suing us left and right and he's winning. And there's one more lawsuit that's coming next year. So they're really on his case. So if Harry and Charles is having some sort of a discussion for agreeing or something, they want Charles to bring the agreement to the point where they could say, okay, we got him now. Now get rid of Charles, and now William takes over, and then they continue with their deal. Okay? Let's not forget that. And like I said, this is something I said as a opinion, and it's continue as opinion. Harry didn't exile himself. He escaped a toxic environment fueled by ego and envy. Isolation isn't imposed, it's earned. And the thing is that Harry said in the Oprah interview that they were willing to stay.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
as much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
They were willing to stay, but if they pushed them out, they put it on paper and finalize it, what was he supposed to do? Okay, there's that, saying isolate himself, that's William, and that's the one that I think I just read. Okay, ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Willie was talking all that mess to Rhoda. Okay, someone tell William in hell. All right, it's his toxicity, jealousy that will ruin him. Stop. So if karma comes, then it should knock on KP first. Okay, after these two, that's it. Let me read bottom up. Oh, Willie, you need to go to your new mommy, the Camilla. That's who control all British medias. William has trashed his family publicly. No, the weasel has constantly briefed, leaked, and lied about his brother's family for years. Raggy McBeer feared being isolated. Try living in his brother's shoes for 2 seconds. He'd be curled up a ball screaming about being the heir. Let's go to the next tweet. I can't believe this was the first one. And I 14 minutes on the first one only. Next tweet. And there's more comment. I'm just moving on. Royalist on KP. Royalists calling for the palace to feed Kate. Oh my God. Recent photos have left royal fans wondering if they have food in the palace. The Wimbledon outing has created more questions than the Farm Shop body double video. And now more people are more convinced it was never about the precancerous cell. Maybe she's going through Diana moment of not eating. I don't know. Maybe that's a cry out for help. I don't know. But nobody's paying attention. When this is what happened, you play with the devil, they'll burn you. And this might contradict what I just said, is that many of these people love to follow blueprint. Maybe she's doing that on purpose so people could feel sorry for her, because we already know Princess Diana went to that phase as well.
According to press reports, it was suggested that it was around this time things became so difficult that you actually tried to injure yourself. Is that true?
When no one listens to you, or you feel no one's listening to you, all sorts of things start to happen. For instance, you have so much pain inside yourself that you try and hurt yourself on the outside because you want help, but it's the wrong help you're asking for. People see it as crying wolf or attention seeking, and they think because you're in the media all the time, you've got enough attention, inverted commas. But I was actually crying out because I wanted to get better in order to go forward and continue my duty and my role as wife, mother, Princess of Wales. So, yes, I did inflict upon myself. I didn't like myself. I was ashamed that I couldn't cope with the pressures.
What did you actually do?
Well, I just hurt my arms and my legs. And I work in environments now where I see women doing similar things, and I'm able to understand completely where they're coming from.
The depression was resolved, as you say, but it was subsequently reported that you suffered bulimia. Is that true?
Yes, I did. I had bulimia for a number of years. And that's like a secret disease you inflict it upon yourself because your self-esteem is at a low ebb and you don't think you're worthy or valuable. You fill your stomach up 4 or 5 times a day, some do it more, and it gives you a feeling of comfort. It's like having a pair of arms around you, but it's temporary. Then you're disgusted at the bloatedness of your stomach, and then you bring it all up again. And it's a repetitive pattern, which is very destructive to yourself.
How often would you do that on a daily basis?
Depends on the pressures going on. If I'd been on what I call an away day, where I'd been up part of the country all day, I'd come home feeling pretty empty because my engagements at that time would be to do with people dying, people very sick, marriage is the problem, all that. And I'd come home and it would be very difficult to know how to comfort myself, having been comforted lots of other people. So it would be a regular pattern to jump into the fridge. It was a symptom of what was going on in my marriage. I was crying out for help, but giving the wrong signals. And people were using my bulimia as a coat on a hanger. They decided that was the problem. Diana was unstable.
And so you subjected yourself to this phase of binging and vomiting?
You could say the word subjected, but it was my escape mechanism, and it worked for me at that time.
So there's all of this that probably is being played here. So these people, you can't trust them. The only thing I could say is that they put themselves in that situation. If you feel sorry for them, that's fine, but they play too much with people's feeling. Whatever she's going through, that's her baggage. She put herself in that situation. All right, so that's that. And I've said this before, when the institution was teaming up to destroy Harry and Meghan, especially William, okay, Kate should go to the husband and say, keep me out of it. I don't want to be part of that. But instead, trying to please the husband, and they use her to get to the next level, and now they're using her. I used to be a bit thinner than she is now. I was very underweight and anorexic. Because of it was bullying at school. Only thing I could control was what I ate. I wonder if she feels her life is out of her control and controlling her eating is all she can do. That's her problem. I'm sorry about what you went through. I hope you are on the other side of it now, and I apologize if there is anything in my post that may trigger you. You do make a very valid point about ED as a tool to control some aspect of her life, with her living in a such controlled chamber of an environment. The thing is that she didn't put a stop to it from the beginning. She allowed them to manipulate her. There's that video that sort of explains my thought.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
If she had put a stop to it, maybe she would not get to the point. It would be uncomfortable, but at least they would not have a control of her. And she probably paying too much attention to what's being said on social media. If I was her, don't pay attention to social media. People's gonna talk no matter what. Okay, I'm fine now. Thank you for asking. If anything, I love my food a bit too much, lol. Better gluten. Okay, that's whatever. Jealousy and ignorance. You all should be ashamed. Ashamed of what? Jealousy of what? Of them? That lifestyle? No amount of money will want me to live over there. The respect that they used to have, knowing what we know now, no amount of money will put me. Look at Meghan in her best life. Okay, so apparently admitting to anorexic bullying carries such a stigma and scorn that someone just might prefer to orchestrate a bogus cancer diagnosis instead. Am I reading this situation right? Okay, if she had an ED, then what will mean that the palace is doing everything in their power to keep that a secret. Our eyes, we could see. Imagine 2 princesses of Wales having ED. Princess Diana and this one now. That's too much of a coincidence. One you can explain away, but two. And then the thing is that she's keeping. There's a possibility she probably wants to tell the world about her situation. The way Princess Diana was able to. But nobody will ever know because they control her and she doesn't know any better. Alright, let me read what's there and then that's it. Kate has bulimia or anorexia nervosa. She didn't have cancer. She had cancer cells, which is not cancer. That is, she needs a pulled pork sandwich. Catherine is an extreme bad role model for young women, especially those struggling already with eating disorder, anorexia, and purging disorder. Okay, so all of that. Let's move on. My God. When you look at all images of her, she had that athletic body. It was a desirable body. I don't know what she did to herself. And bring herself down to this idiot. Whatever. The one good thing about Kate is it doesn't cost much for the country to feed her. I don't know what I put. I think the only reason I put this is because of the image of what they were talking about. But that's not a funny caption. She's being treated for cancer. There's no cancer. I think I responded to that. She's being treated for cancer. You absolutely gal. So that's my response here. Her family medicine said she didn't have it. So there's that. Okay, abnormal thin, post-cancer, anorexia. She was thin before, but now she's thinner than her child. Very unhealthy. Is she wearing a paddle bra? I don't know. It doesn't look as if it costs much to dress them either. Let's move on. Now, Daddy fell with William. Of fighting, aren't they? There's a laugh here because how is this in today's stories? Okay, this is Daddy Mel. Prince William with the posh girl from the Glass Posse. Charles had given the relationship with our Musgrave. But her father had a different view. The comment below. Friends, go back to the date. Okay, July 13, 2025. So that was like 2 days ago. So it's recent. All right, digging BS over 20 years old. You're definitely grasping at straw, loser. And then I think this was it. There's the laugh here. Apology accepted. I'm sure you've seen the date by now. There's the date. Okay, 13, 2025. This month, July. Okay, it looks like, let's move up. It looks like the so-called working royals are trying to start pulling on Kate what they did to Meghan, destroy her reputation and make her the bad guy so that people won't be too upset when the divorce is announced. That was something I said in past video. I forgot what was the topic where I said put a post-it on it because the media, the royal family is starting to create their narrative for when something happened, they will go back to it. So this is what I think is happening. I forgot what was the topic was about, but I remember talking about it not too long ago. All right, they're creating the narrative so they could go back to it and say, you see, this is what happened, because the blood royals never at fault for anything. For Kate, who born in the UK, she didn't learn that part. She should have studied Princess Diana's pain before, chasing William. Okay, it's not that no posh girls wanted to date William, so he was left with Kate to marry, who served men drinks on a yacht as her only real job. A great start to the week. The palace is at war. Camilla said, "Oh my beer." Yeah, she knows how to play the game, but I can't wait for karma to come to her. Okay, whatever is here. Okay, bottom up. Kitty, careful, or she might meet a tunnel one night. Wasn't there not too long ago, maybe a year or so, where there was a headline that says she was afraid to go under tunnels? LOL, this is insane behavior. I have no idea whose side the papers are supposed to be on now, but this is hilarious. They're not on any side. They just want nonsense to write. They're not on any side. They are manipulating the royal family. This is why Harry doesn't play with them. Harry understands them. They're penning the royal family among each other so they could write nonsense. This news is so old. The skeleton finally coming out. Get the popcorn ready. Charles has come out swinging. He must hold a lot of receipt. Laughing my ass off. They already known that KK wasn't a top choice and Willie wasn't as big a catch as the media would like us to believe. Her father isn't the only one to side-eye having Willie as a sister-in-law. Okay, I'm beginning to think nobody likes that Willard man at all. Yeah, they know who he is. He was trying to get a American socialite named Meghan, of all names, okay? Meghan. But the way they spell her name has 2 N at the end. She said no. And then there's Harry, who come with American. Then Meghan. I mean, that's a double whammy. Kitty befriending a member of the glass pot at Marlborough was when she and her mother put their stalking plan into action. Okay, is she Camilla? I don't know. Somehow I think our Bella will have been more intelligent, more sensible, and more polished work ethic. God knows where our Bella is now. If she had said yes, they will turn her into a submissive person. No matter how much light, bright education she had, they will turn her into nothing. So this is why many of those girls said no. I'll be friend with you, that's about it, but I don't want to be your soulmate to disrespect, be in the public eye and all of that. They learned from Princess Diana. And then this is the thing I said in the past as well, with his kids, the 2 boys that he has. So we've seen so many blueprints. Anyone who married those kids, and we just saw in my last video how the 2 oldest was looking at a disabled child. All right, any girls who marry any of those 2 boys, whatever, if the institution is still in existence, I will not feel sorry for them. Okay, because there's so much to go by, where any girls that these boys ask for marriage should stay away. All right, so was William likely aware, or was he completely unaware? All right, so this is the next tweet. The British media is full of idiots who love to stir the pot and ruin family relations, also as a distraction from their own pathetic life. The thing is that what people in the UK should pay attention. All right, the tabloid pretty much is in the pocket of politicians. Okay, they have an agenda of whatever's going on around the world. So in the UK, to distract the people, they probably have things on the royal family. So they're using the royal family as the distraction in the UK. Now what's happening in the US, okay, they move it to the US. They have Trump for distraction, but meanwhile you have the whole executive order that was going on. They had all of that ready. Who knows, people around the world who have who wanted to do their savage thing around the globe, they have part of this, of all those executive orders that Trump signed. Okay? They had it ready before Trump was even president. They were ready for his second term since he was in first term. It's just that Biden won. Whatever's happening to the US now was supposed to happen since 2020. But Biden won, now they continue. So the royal family is a distraction for what's happening in politics. So when you see those nonsense, the headlines all happening, what people in the UK should do is to check what's going on and what the MPs are doing, what they're voting for, what rules and laws they're changing, and things like that. All right? The US, on the other hand, had to go, unfortunately, I know some of you disagree, but it is very hard where so many people don't see what's happening. They prefer pain on others. Some of them had to experience what's going on. All right? The rest of the world, they don't want America. Okay? If they could kill every American to start all over, this is what they want. They were for gun control when there's mass shooting. They were to take away healthcare. Okay, healthcare is something to help you survive and put you in good condition. They were against that, and look what Trump is doing. So many things that was going on. They, what is it? Food for children. They don't want that, and they want women to bear a child, even if it's the cost of the life of the mother. They don't care. All right, so they put America in a position where you could self-destruct. This is what they want, because the rest of the world wants to do a Palestine everywhere they go. Okay, they did that in America with the native, destroyed and create what they have now, but it turns against them in a way where black people are elevating themselves, so they don't want that anymore. So they want to start all over. So the Middle East better watch out. Even those that are paying in the same team as the Jewish Israel, they're coming for you next. All right, they want you to help them to a certain point, and then they're gonna turn on you as well. And I've said this before, they're gonna turn the Middle East just like America. Each of those countries are gonna be a state. This is their goal, in my humble opinion. All right, so the UK, whenever you see headlines like this, just look at your politician, your MPs. What are they putting in? What rule of law they're removing and replacing, and all of that. Okay. Meanwhile, the royal family are really going through some stuff deeply. They don't care how they affect the people. They thought Harry was gonna play along with them. Harry doesn't play with them, and it creates an extra bubble, extra distraction, or extra, I don't know, whatever. But it affects the royal family personally. But the tabloid doesn't care. All right, let's read some of the comments. You could, when I show these, you could pause and read them. All right. Whether, okay, whether, what the hell, so many in. Whether there is, okay, whether there is any truth to this peace talk or not, British media are wetting their pants with delight at having something Sussex to talk about. Pretty much, yeah. But they are shouting it as, well, Charles has to be careful because Harry leaks, blah, blah, blah. They have to be cautious because William will fly off the handle if they get away to over the thought of Sussex return, even if as non-working royals. Okay, if the UK media apparatus wants the monarchy to thrive, why is it that the tabloid, the UK media, Vodovats, and the derangers are always wanting a dysfunctional and troubled royal family? This is not stability. This is ineptitude. It is not leadership and making for a monarchy. And some derangers, but the majority of them are manufactured derangers to create chaos. The reaction tells me that they knew nothing about the talk between father and son, and that outside meeting was done deliberately. Yeah, they tell the tabloid. And why do you think the picture came out? The only one who probably didn't know, if it is true, is the representative of the Sussexes. She doesn't know how to play that game. or maybe Harry should have told them in a private room, or else he's not sending his people to talk with them. All right, the reaction tells me that they knew nothing. Okay, I just read that. And also, I don't know why Harry is, I don't know if Harry really want a reconciliation, but if I was, then again, that's his country. I don't know. He was unaware, but he wanted to be part of the talk to leak to his buddies and media. Anyway, British media is just getting, apart from pictures, we know nothing. Even Victoria Ward article was nonsense. Sources don't speak for Sussexes. That's true. British royal family out, just so we're all clear. Okay, so I read everything. Next tweet, Daddy fell on Harry and Meghan. Oh my god, there's so much tweet. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do all of. Oh my god, do I really want to read all of that? One.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we asked for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.